We live yet?
Shut the fuck up, Shelties.
Are we there yet?
Are we
This is
there
a
yet?
serious campaign. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the world of Eresia. This is Invasion of Nareveth, the first session of our BESM 2nd Edition tabletop RPG campaign. I am here with all of our players. I am the Dungeon Master, as you can see. We have our dear friend Caleb playing Draxus.
Mo.
What? Yes, good job. We have the lovely Neplin Dream, aka Shay Sylveon, aka Emma, aka Beautiful Person, playing Theodosia. Welcome, welcome. We have
Theodosia.
Theodosia. Go ahead, yell at me every time I mispronounce it. What? Okay. We have the very lovely Chargeback playing Aramal. Welcome, Chargeback.
Hello there.
And last but not least, we have Shelties playing the always wonderful and charming Kikana.
Hi.
Hello. Okay, so
I'm gonna steal your tankards.
okay.
Give me the
So
tankards.
a little bit about the way that this is going to work separately from the normal streams here. You can see that there is no chat relay on the stream. We will be playing the game. We're not going to be responding to the chat. I'll be keeping an eye on it just in case there's something going on with like the sound or something technical. But we are just going to be kind of playing the game. There's going to be several maps that I'm going to pull up. I used RPG Maker MV if you are interested to make them. They are representative in general of the area and not an exact picture. I'm going to be reading descriptions of the areas, and you guys can use that. Everybody will be taking diligent notes, I hope. Emma has made herself the official note taker.
I currently have no way of taking notes. Maybe next time, though.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay, and for those of you who are fans of BESM, I will be playing a little fast and loose with some of the rules because I want to make sure that this game is fun, and I always try to err on the side of fun when I run games. So, yes. So, I shall now read the rules. I'm sorry, I just read the rules. I am freaking out. I've already told people I'm going to vomit today. Alright, so here is the introduction to the game and to the world. This is the world map. Everybody listen up, let's begin. Welcome to the world of Eresia. Created by Ilrena, the mother goddess of water and air, and Lithkar, the father god of fire and earth, the empty ball of rock that was Eresia was given life. Ilrena created the grass, seas, and winds. Lithkar created the mountains, valleys, and volcanoes. Their greatest creations, however, were the intelligent life on Eresia. The humans, denizens of the continent of Mastria, complex and passionate creatures with equal parts compassion and hatred in their hearts. The elves, rulers of Azar, intelligent and tuned to the very planet the very planet itself, who have taken up the mantle as protectors of Eresia, and have perhaps even forsaken their own creators. The Drakkar, living on the island of Nadaka, these draconic creatures of fire and earth, as far as they know, have an infinite lifespan. And the Volucris, they live perched on top of the cliffs of Panoram. They are avian people of air and water, secluded and wise, protective of their own, and wary of outsiders. These were the creatures that thrived beyond all others on Eresia, and born from these races were heroes and villains alike. 4 of those heroes are the focus of our story here. We have Draxus, a Volocris whose heart is filled with revenge, seeking the blood of bandits who murdered his family, only to have them take his left arm and right eye. Now this proud warrior seeks to protect the innocent and grow ever stronger. Welcome to the game, Draxus.
Mo.
Good job. Aramal, a wandering Drakkar whose true passion is travel and exploration. He seeks to find adventure wherever he can, so long as it does not reside in his home island of Nadaka. Welcome, Aramal.
I'm boring.
No! Shh, you're my favorite. Don't tell the others.
Hi. Rude.
Theodosia, an elven water mage born into a poor family, whom were lost to her when she returned home one day to find them dead. She's a quiet woman who went through mage school and learned several trades to support herself and earn gold, only to find herself traveling with our band of heroes. And Kikana, a honey elf that is most definitely better than you. He left his village to explore after hearing stories of the world from his cousin, and now with his faithful owl companion Demetrius, he's tired of traveling alone, joining our group of heroes in an attempt to have fun and find something good to fill his prized tankard with. And these, ladies and gentlemen, are the heroes of our story. And currently, our heroes are traveling here on the continent of Mastria. After a particularly long travel between cities, after some adventure or whatnot in which they probably got in trouble, they find themselves here at the grand city of Nareveth, which is the capital of a small but profitable country of the same name. That is how small it is. The country consists of the city of Nareveth itself, as well as a few very small towns and lots of farmland. The group, tired, hungry, and desperately in need of supplies, they decide to make a stop at Nareveth for the night. And that is where our campaign begins. So, you guys already have two options.
Oh?
Yes.
Oh?
There are two entrances to Nareveth. As you approach Nareveth, you approach from the very well-known trade road, like the major trade road of Mastria. That trade road leads directly into the eastern entrance of Nareveth. There's also an entrance through the south of Nareveth's walls, which happens to go through a bunch of farmland. You know, there's farms out there. There's obviously a lot of people coming in and out of the west side. Of the east side through the trade route. The south is a lot quieter because it's just farmland. To the north, as you can see here, there's actually mountains here. The whole city is kind of built up against this huge mountain range. And to the west is the shore where they have all of the docks. But you can enter from either the south through the farmlands, or you can enter through the east along the trade route. So that choice is yours.
I don't really care which one we enter from. I mean, it might be more crowded through the trade route.
South or east? What did you say was on the south again?
The south is just kind of quiet farmland.
All right. What's our advantages and disadvantages for doing these options?
Is there like a guard check on the trade route? Like making
Yes.
sure everything good is coming in?
Yes, there are guards at each entrance. More just to kind of make sure that there's, no unsurly types coming in and out of, you can see probably, since you're along the trade route, you could probably see the guards standing at the eastern entrance. They're not, accosting people. They're just standing there keeping an eye on the people that are going in and out. And occasionally maybe asking a question of somebody that's coming in asking for directions or whatever the case may be.
May
All
I
right.
say something?
Yeah, of
Yes.
course you can.
So, if we go ahead and look at the east side, it's going to be much more crowded, careless, crazy. I feel like we could lose something there. I know I'm paranoid, so I don't know. I think it would probably be a better choice to go through the southern side. Everything's calmer, everything's quiet. You're less likely to mess something up.
True, but I mean, do we really want to gain attention from the guards there? Because it'd be a bit weird for a group of adventurers. I mean, look at us, group of dragon, elf, bird things that just going through the farmer entrance.
Hey, I look human enough.
You have giant wings.
Yes, but they're hidden under my cloak.
Fair enough.
Are they? Are they really?
Yes. Yes.
There aren't giant lumps there.
That's why I wear a thick coat.
All right, you got me there.
The advantages of wearing a thick coat.
So yeah, I think it'd look a little weird if we went through the more rural entrance. We're adventurers. We're not trying to hide anything.
Saying you have something to hide?
No, unless you want to take my tankards, then I'd have a body to hide.
Oh. Oh. Is the
Wow.
first fight gonna happen outside of the walls of the goddamn city?
Don't touch my tankards in the city or outside of the city.
We're already threatening each other. It's a big old happy family.
So yeah, I'd say the main entrance.
I'd say south.
Honestly, I see both points. Because we could lose something very important if we go through the main entrance to the east.
Are you saying someone's gonna steal something from us?
Maybe.
Someone could steal something from us, or it could be so crowded that we get bumped into and accidentally drop something. Like you dropping a tankard.
I would never drop my tankards.
Oh yeah, they're in a mythical bag of holding. I forgot you store them all in a bag of holding.
I'll
Yeah,
be
there's
right
only
back.
2 right now, but
I
who
didn't
knows?
think this decision was gonna be that tough for you guys.
The Inns may miss a few tankards.
Can we please just decide?
Hey, Dragon Boy, which one we going to?
He said he'd be right back.
Ah,
I'm gonna go
Bird Boy.
going south.
All right, to the south. we
South?
go.
Okay.
South!
We're gonna wait for Dragon
Shall
Boy to come
we?
back.
We should probably determine what we're wearing as far as cloaks and stuff. I mean,
If you would like to
important.
establish that, you are more than welcome to.
Kick's in a cloak, but his bow is probably pretty visible over it, along with
Okay.
the big arrows.
Mm-hmm.
Draxus is wearing a pretty thick but light cloak. Yes, I know those two adjectives are very contradictory.
Am?
Give me a second to think about that.
Well, you have until Charge comes back.
Okay.
I mean, we can describe what Charge looks like just from his promotional art of his character.
Well, we can.
Looks
Well,
like really good
I'm
art.
more waiting for him so that we can continue with the story.
Demetrius is probably sitting on my shoulder,
Okay,
just
Cool.
maybe
Welcome
sleeping.
back.
Okay, so you guys are entering through the south, and the south is going to take you to the residential district.
Nice.
Hear the goats.
So many goats.
Music and sound effects will be provided by Roll20. Thank you very much. Okay. Let me lower that a little bit. That's a little loud. Okay.
This is
Okay,
loud,
so
this is
going through the south brings you out here through the residential district. The residential district is home to most of the population of Nareveth, as well as the southern entrance to the city itself. It's a fairly simple maze of houses and buildings that house multiple families, so apartment buildings, stuff like that. Let's see. Yes. As you move away from the southern entrance of the city and start heading more towards the center of the city, the buildings become nicer and you start seeing some small shops, some inns, taverns, and other eateries like that. So you have kind of a bunch of stuff to choose from here as far as what you want to do, whether you want to find a place to stay for the night.
Is there any inns, around?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, the one that's
Here's some
marked with
nice
Inn.
looking-
Yeah. Yes, this is representative of one of the inns. There are a couple of small inns. Not one of them looks too different from the other.
How much money do we have?
That's another issue that we need to discuss. So I didn't really come up with a specific
Ooh, there's a horse.
Money system.
yeah, I didn't really come up with a specific money system. Not that it's not really going to be incredibly necessary either. However, I will tell you that you certainly have enough money to find a place to stay for the night and get some supplies, you know, some food rations, maybe, you know, a couple of healing potions if you feel like you might really need them. You know, stuff
This
like that.
building with
And there's
the
whole
coin
rest
symbol.
there's a whole rest of the city to, you know, to think about as well.
Well, do we know anything about the city? Like, previous knowledge as far as?
What a good question!
Because, I mean,
Oh, no.
it's traveled.
What?
Oh no.
Nope. If you want, you can roll. You can make a mind roll
I would
to
like
see
to
what
do
you
that.
know.
I would like to do that as well.
Okay. Let me see. Are you gonna make one, Kikana?
Yes, I
Okay,
am.
I'm just looking at your character sheet really quick to see if you have anything that I think might help. I don't think so. And you wanted to make one as well? Draxus, correct?
I mean, I might as well.
Oh, nope, that's Aramol.
Just everyone roll party.
The whole party could roll if they want.
Sure.
I mean, everyone could check for their knowledge on it.
Okay, so
Okay.
what you would want to do is roll. How many dice do I want you to roll? Why don't you roll? Why don't you just roll 1d6 for me?
D6?
I got a 2.
Yes, a 6-sided dice. You got a 2.
I got a
Okay,
5.
Draxus got a 5.
I'm a little bit stupid today.
Oh, Theodosia!
No!
No. Okay, so please remember
No,
in
one is
BESM.
good.
Please remember
One
in
is the
BESM
critical.
that lower numbers are better. You want to roll
Oh, wow,
underneath
I
your
did
stats.
the worst out of all of us.
Theodosia, you made a critical roll. Congratulations. And I'm not talking about the series. You actually made a perfect roll.
First one of the game.
My roll was shit.
So, I'll give this to Theodosia, because she was the one that crit, and the rest of y'all rolled about as well as I normally do in games.
Well, Kent
So-
rolled a 2.
So here's what you know, Theodosia. You know some general information about this city and kind of how it works. Nareveth is a big trade city. The docks on the western side have a lot of different people from all different parts of Eresia coming in and out, selling trade or just traveling. It's also nestled up against those mountain ranges, which gives it access to all of the ore inside of those mountains. So they're also a big exporter of metals and metalworking. Thereis a huge blacksmithing district in the city that is very well known, and there's also maybe some parts of the city that are not so on the straight and narrow. But there's really no big information about that. Anything else that you would want to know, you might want to maybe ask a local as a suggestion.
Perfecto. I wrote that all down.
Oh, look
So,
at her! She's so smart!
Nice.
Questions for the DM, or
Yes.
GM, if I may ask.
Yes.
What are these buildings right here?
Again, this is just representative.
Well-
This is just kind of a general store, a restaurant, and then this is kind of like a small worship church place of some type. There's definitely at least one place here that
Okay.
is some kind of small place of worship, just where, like, you know, people who live in the area can go on any one day and worship Ilrena or Lithkar, depending on.
Only remembering that I cannot
Yes.
delete that on my own.
I will clear it.
Oh.
No worries.
I actually want to go to the general store.
Okay.
Alright.
Just see what's there, see if there's anything useful.
Sure.
Like a tankard.
Sure. Oh my god. Okay.
Like a tanker.
So, are you guys gonna go with her? Or you're all gonna take a trip to the general store?
I'll join.
You'll
A
join?
lone wolf.
I forget, what are the 3 buildings on the other side of the street?
This is like a magic shop. This is like a jewelry store, and this is kind of like a kind of stavey type of shop. Again, you could just pick any kind of shop that you would want, and it's basically here. There's an armor shop here, weapons. There's a tavern here. There's an inn.
So wait, there's an armor shop and a weapon shop. What's the shop in the middle of the two?
It's just representative.
It's just representative, like I said. It's not anything specific. Pretty much any kind of shop that you may want could either be found here or potentially in another district if you want to ask a local.
I want to go to the jewelry one.
I think I'm gonna go to the weapon shop.
Okay, alright, so you guys are going to split up a little bit. That's cool.
Crap, still in draw mode. God damn it.
And you guys can place yourself around if you really want to. Don't worry about it. Alright, so I will start with, I'll start with Kikana. Okay, so you walk into the general store. It looks like pretty much any other general store that you might see in another town. There's a kind of sprightly young woman behind the counter. She looks to be setting up a display behind her, but when she hears the door open, she turns around and greets you with a big smile, and she's like, "Hello, how can I help you today?"
Alright. Do you have any tankards, miss? I say to, like,
Tankards?
flutter my eyelashes at her and show off elven magical beautiness.
Are you trying to seduce the shopkeeper already?
Well, I mean, if the shopkeeper likes me, he'll give me better stuff and better. So,
Well, if you specifically do want to try and, you know, do something like that, just let me know that's what you're trying to do, so that I can make a roll for it. But anyway,
I don't really want to do that. Just
well, anyway, you're
out there that he does that.
you put in the
That's
character
normal.
points to be attractive enough that she is very happy with your physical presence in her vicinity. And she smiles and says, I don't really have any tankers on in the moment, but you know, there's always, you know, stuff coming in and out of the local tavern. Maybe they could sell you one of their tankards if you really need one.
I nod at her and look over to fellow elf and say, "Well, would you like anything, little miss?"
Who are you looking at? Who are you
Theodosia.
talking? Oh, she's talking to Theodosia.
Yeah.
Theodosia, I believe, was going to the jewelry store. Did you go with her?
It's fine. I'll go to the general because
Okay.
I just realized how useless jewelry would be.
She's not wrong.
But yeah, no, I asked if Theodosia wants anything.
Theodosia rolls her eyes and glances at, how do I say this? Kikana?
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
Kick.
You can just call him Kick.
Kana. Kick and says, I can choose my own decisions. Leave me alone.
Shoot that thief. Kick's a bit put off by that.
Aw.
Just Draxus from halfway across the city. Wow!
Okay, so the shopkeeper goes, "Is there anything else I can help you with?"
Do I have a rope on me? Or do I need to get the normal dungeoneering stuff, or do we already just have it?
I
in
mean,
base?
You're adventurers. I would assume that you would have perhaps some. I would give that to you. I don't know where you're going with this. I'm kind of afraid to ask, but
Hey, you always need some quality rope.
Yeah, no, you always need quality rope.
okay. So what do you want the rope for?
Yeah, I ask if there's rope, pretty much. I ask and if I can see her rope.
Oh, she said, "Oh, okay. I thought you were asking me if you had rope on you." So she goes, "I should have some length of rope that I could sell you." So she goes to a chest behind the counter. Remember, just do it a little bit and pulls out a pretty sturdy looking length of rope. She puts it on the table.
Quality rope.
Quality rope.
I ask if I can do a bit of pull testing with it.
A little bit of what? I'm sorry.
I pick up the rope and do a bit of testing, praise it, and say, yeah, I'll take it.
Okay.
Because you always need more rope.
Like I said, I'm not getting too specific with money at this moment, but she will charge you, probably below what is a fair price because you're really pretty.
And that's why you put points in booty. Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay, so
I'm done with
I
shopping.
didn't know this was Skyrim.
Hey, so
I'm
listen.
unimpressed.
She put the points into her character. That's what she gets.
I would have been more beautiful, but somebody wouldn't let me backset a steal immediately.
Okay, so if that's all with your business at the general store?
Yep.
Yep, okay, alright, so, Birdman and Dragon Boy, where did the two of you go off to?
I mean,
I believe-
I would join them at the general
Okay.
store. I was going to
Yeah.
ask about food.
Okay, so you guys are basically together.
Alright.
Okay. So,
So yeah, I'm done. I'm just standing near the door, I think.
Waiting
Okay.
for Aramal to finish up what he's doing.
Yeah, whatever those two want to do, they can do it. I'll just wait here.
the store clerk kind of looks at you guys. She kind of tilts her head a little bit and goes, "Did you guys come from the sea in the west?
Could you repeat that?
Did you guys come from the sea from the west?"
You could say
Yeah.
that. I'm from a little bit everywhere.
Well, you certainly don't look like you're from here.
You're not wrong there.
Kick Snickers a bit.
Well, I was only mentioning because if you wanted to find a place to stay for the night, there's a couple of inns I could recommend to you.
We're listening.
So,
Okay. There's an inn a couple of doors down that isn't too bad. Pretty fair prices. I would stay away from anything over in the western side of the city because it's by the water. They're really expensive. She rolls her eyes those people from the waterfront. Like she
I thought you were about to say those people from the Waterlands.
No. No, she's like, that's the expensive part of town. If you guys are just traveling, you might want to stay away from there. If you're looking for really cheap, you might want to hop over to the next district over, the Crimson District, but that kind of depends on your tastes.
I think I know what's in the Crimson District, guys.
Draxus just yells from halfway across the city, "Is that like the red light district?"
Somebody knows why I named things certain things.
He does not want to go there.
You said Crimson District, and that was the first thing that popped into my head.
Well, then I named it well.
Yeah, no, I wait for them to...
Okay. Can I help you gentlemen at all? She's looking at Aramal and Droxus.
Oh no, I'm not in the general
Oh,
shop.
you're not. Okay, you're just
Remember,
like.
Droxus is.
Weapon.
I'm at the weapon shop.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was wondering what you guys are doing. Okay, you're moving your character around the weapon shop. Okay. So then I will jump over to you then.
Okay.
As you enter into the weapon shop, there's kind of a gruff guy standing behind the counter. He's polishing a sword of some type. He goes to hang it on display, and he turns around and sees you. He looks at you kind of like... He looks at you kind of oddly for a second because you're not the kind of clientele he expects to see. But then he sees that you very much look kind of like an adventurer, and all of a sudden he's all smiles. Well, good day there, my man. How can I help you today?
I'm going to need a pair of your finest knives.
Oh, you're looking for some daggers, eh? I think I have some stuff you might be interested in. He goes underneath his counter. You see that there's kind of a display case under there, and he opens up a couple of boxes that are closed. He doesn't take them out of the display case, but he opens up the tops, and there are some pretty nice looking daggers. They look a little fancy, but they're probably like for the nicest daggers he has. You
And
know?
I test their sharpness.
He kind of looks at you, and he's like, he looks around, there's nobody else in his store. He kind of shrugs, pulls the box out, and places it on the counter, so that you can take the dagger out of the box.
I take the dagger out of the box and proceed to try and prick my finger with the dagger to test how sharp it is.
It's probably not the sharpest knife you've ever seen in your life, but it is pretty sharp. Like, it's obvious to you that it is meant for killing and not necessarily like an ornate decoration kind of a thing.
I'll take them.
Okay. So he grins and offers you what is probably a pretty fair going rate for them.
I hand him the money, shake his hand. Pleasure doing business with you.
Pleasure doing business with you as well, lad. You passing through town?
Yep. Passing through with some friends.
Alright, well, if you want to be keeping those on your belt, I would suggest keeping them hidden until you're outside of the castle walls. We have... the guards here are good men, but they don't take kindly to strangers brandishing blades, if you know what I'm saying.
I completely understand that.
If you need anything else, please feel free to let me know.
Okay. Do you know of any inns I could stay at?
Oh, there's plenty. There's one a block or two down. It's pretty good place. The guy that owns it's not gonna, cheap out on you with the food. He makes a good beef stew, if that's the kind of thing you like. I would stay away from the waterfront. Those freaking high-end hoity-toity bastards will take you for every penny you have. He kind of like sneers, almost in like the general direction of the waterfront, like.
Really don't like that water.
And then he's like, other than that, you can pretty much go anywhere in the city you want. If you're looking for a really good time, you might want to hop over to the Crimson District. I can recommend you a place or two.
Sounds something similar to a red light district.
We try to be a little more subtler about it than that.
That's not very subtle.
I'd point that out to him. That's not being very subtle at all.
listen, it's subtle enough that we're not being overt about it, but obvious enough that people that come and know exactly what they're getting when they go there.
Okay, point taken.
He's not wrong.
I thank him again for the business and heed his advice and flip up my cloak and stick the daggers inside of an inner belt.
He bids you a good day and goes back to polishing his wares. Not a euphemism, he's actually
And now I just wait in the
polishing.
center of the street.
Okay. Alrighty, so are you guys gonna meet back up, or is there more shopping you want to do?
I mean,
I think we're
did she
okay.
ever answer my question about like food rations?
I can barely hear your voice. Let me turn the... That's my
Hello?
fault.
The goats are blocking out his voice.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's my fault. Okay, so you want to ask the general store clerk about food rations?
Yes.
Okay. So, she will look at you and go, I've got plenty of those for you. What kind of stuff are you looking for? I have some vegetables from the market if you want something that, you know, it's not going to last as long. I have some dried beef here. I have some bread, some cheeses.
You have any mixed deals?
She looks at you guys and goes, well, you guys seem nice enough, and if you're traveling, I could definitely put something together for you for the road. So she puts together kind of a mix of, you know, some dried meat, cheeses, some bread, you know, maybe some other things like some nuts, you know, just general food ration stuff that, you know, lasts long on the road. And she gives you a pretty good deal for them. You know, it is definitely kind of like a package deal.
Thank you, pretty lady.
She smiles. Anytime, good sir. Is there anything else I can help you guys with? Now she's smiling at him!
As of current, that is all we need. Thank you for your time.
Well, thank you for your business. You all enjoy the rest of the city. There's certainly plenty to see here.
Then every shopkeeper we go to starts bringing up the Crimson District.
Do you guys want to go to the Crimson District? I think Gina's pushing us.
No,
there.
no. Listen. She brought it up because you were looking for a place to stay. That guy brought it up because he just enjoys the services that are peddled there, okay? That guy just likes their services.
At least in the case of me, he offered me an actual inn to stay at beforehand.
Well, so did she. She told you, you know, there's inns here. They basically both said the same thing. Stay away from the expensive area, you know?
Screw the waterfront.
Screw the waterfront, there are a bunch of
So
bastards.
what do you guys want to do now? Are you gonna go find an inn? Are you gonna go explore the rest of the city? What is on your agenda?
I'm still waiting for everyone to meet back up.
What time of day is it?
He's the only one using his icon. He's just sitting in the middle of the road there, like, where is
I
everyone?
can't figure out how to get my icons on.
You go to the
same.
journal.
I don't know.
You could go to the journal.
Okay,
and
in
just drag
characters,
your
click
name.
your name and drag it onto the thing.
I'll do it for you guys. Boop.
Oh, I see now. I
Boop.
see, said the blind man picking up his hammer and saw.
There you go. Now you guys should be able
I'd
to
say
move
we meet
yourselves
back
around.
up with him.
Okay. These are the player.
Say goodbye to
by
the
the way.
store clerk.
Okay. So,
probably
you
get
did you
moving.
ask what time of day it is, Shelties?
Yeah, what time of day is it? Like, how many hours
it's-
do we have before nightfall?
It's not, I would say, using, like, real world time, it's probably somewhere in, like, the 3 to 4 o'clock area. Like, the sun's gonna probably
PM
go
or
down in a
AM?
couple of hours, and, you know,
Okay.
you have some time to explore and look around if you want before you're really gonna have to find a place to hunker down for the night.
I want to check out another city district.
Ooh, okay. You can try to go in a specific direction if you want via this map. I do have the maps interlocking in the way that the districts are connected because I'm a dork. Or you can try and find a map if you want, or...
So we know about the Crimson District.
Mm-hmm.
Just Kick pulls over Kick waves over like a passerby who looks like they live there and asks them, what's the districts around here, other than the Crimson?
You pull over a kind of probably like a teenage level kid. He looks to be shuffling some stuff back and forth, but when you ask him this question, he puts down this like heavy like sack of like wheat that he's holding. And he seems very grateful to be able to put it down and talk to you. Like, he's exhausted. He's like, yes, let me tell you about this entire city. He's very happy to talk to you. So, he says, if you go to the east of, I have to put some accents on. Hold on a second. He goes, all right, here's where you want to go. If you go to the east of here is the Crimson District. I've certainly never been there. Now if you want to pass through the Crimson District and go north of there, there's the Blacksmithing District. That's where the trade. That's well, you know what? I'm not even gonna give him the accent. I'll just explain to you what he says because it's easier for me to do it this way. So,
but the accent's fine.
Okay, fine. So, north...
I think it's because Gina can't do a British accent.
No, shut up!
I
hate you both. Okay, so, north of the Crimson District is the Blacksmithing District. That is where, by the way, the eastern entrance to the city leads into, is the Blacksmithing District.
Okay, because when you said east of the Southern District is the Crimson District, I thought the main entrance to the town goes straight to the prostitution area?
No, it goes straight into the Blacksmithing District. Now, if you go if you go past that, if you go even closer towards the mountains, you're gonna get into the Art District. He's like, the Art District is like really boring. There's like art and who cares? And then if you go all the way up towards the mountains in like the northeastern side of town, that's where the mines are. But they won't let you in there. Not even, you know, I would be let in there. Only the mine workers are allowed there, and the guards. Now, if you're looking for the water districts, those are all to the west. The docking district is over to the west. The waterfront district is over to the west, but that's where all of the rich people live. I don't really like them. They always like give me weird stares when I'm running around doing my work. They've probably never worked a day in their lives. Whatever. You can tell these people don't like the people in the waterfront district. He goes, the Magi district is also over by the water, but, I really wouldn't go there if I were you. Otherwise... And
why would that be?
I just instantly ask him, full of lunatics?
Eccentrics is probably the better word, but that's where the college is, the mage college, and who knows what they do in there. I just try to avoid it myself, really.
I didn't know the College of Winterhold was here.
Yeah.
Yeah, please, don't even start. Otherwise, if you go north of here, that's where the merchant district is. That's where all the merchants go, where they sell their wares, and then the castle. That's the town. That's Nareveth.
I give him a few gold coins for spending some time to give us these directions.
Oh, thank you very much, sir. Your generosity is very much appreciated.
He just stares at him because it's an mortal child and you're wasting money on him.
Wow.
Hey, this kid deserves a few extra coins for what he's doing out of his work time.
Kit doesn't say anything and just stares. In other words, I want to go to the art district.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the guy's gonna go and be on his way. If you want to go to the art district, are you guys gonna all go together?
I think I'm going to go to the blacksmith district.
Okay.
I'll join him.
Okay, so you can get to the art district through the blacksmithing district, so you all can do that if you want.
Yeah, I'll swing with them through the blacksmith. They
Okay.
take it out there, and then I'll head on up to art.
Okay, so the blacksmithing district. Hold on, I have
Okay.
sound for this too. Because I have no life whatsoever. It becomes obvious the moment that you enter the blacksmithing district, as you're surrounded by large wooden buildings. I should put you on the map too before I say this. Blacksmithing, blacksmithing. There we go. There we go. It becomes obvious the moment you enter the blacksmithing district, as you are surrounded by large wooden buildings, as well as the sounds of metal clanging against metal from seemingly all directions. Aside from a tavern or two and an old-looking inn, pretty much every other building here is a store or a workshop. The centerpiece of the district is a large building that houses much of the metals and ores that Nareveth is known for, which is also likely why the eastern entrance to the city leads here. You can tell that this building in particular is important, as it is the only one that is explicitly flanked by city guards. So there are city guards in front of this building in particular, standing at the door.
You say this building in particular, but I can't see you pointing at it.
Oh yeah,
I'm
this,
assuming it's the big one.
Where's my drawing tool? Hand. This building in particular.
The one that the one that houses all the metal.
Yes.
Big one.
That is like the big, shipment warehouse. So that's that district. It's up to you what you want to do there.
I'm just along for the ride at the moment, so I just look
Okay.
at
Whoops.
you and just
Turned on the draw tool again.
You wanted to
What do y'all
specifically
want?
come here, correct?
Huh?
You wanted to specifically come here, correct?
I did, and Charge said he was coming with me.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Wait, did
Alright.
Am come with us? Did
Theodosia?
I'm okay with going to the blacksmith and the art.
Okay. So you guys are all now in the blacksmithing district, so are you two going to... Are you guys going to split up? What are you guys going to do?
Yeah,
I'm
Kit
going to-
wants to.
I'm gonna go into one of the blacksmiths.
Okay.
Kit wants to go to the art district pretty much. The blacksmith isn't much.
Alright, so we'll do the blacksmith first, and then we will go with you guys to the art. We'll do you guys
So,
to the art district.
So I was about to say, before Kick leaves, we agree to meet back up near the inn in the southern district.
Yeah, I'll agree to
In
that.
the residential district? Okay. Okay, so you walk into this blacksmith. It, again, looks like a pretty typical blacksmith. There's, the fire, there's anvils, there's several workers working on weapons. It looks like a pretty busy place. There is a guy with a big, blacksmith apron on. Big, bushy, mustache and beard. He definitely looks like he's the guy that runs the place. And he's, going around kind of, criticizing what they're doing and looking over what the workers are blacksmithing.
I ring a bell on the counter to call over the owner.
He comes over. What can I do you for?
I need something custom made.
What exactly are you looking for?
I need something called caltrops. Know what those are?
Just as a side, you know that you have caltrops on you, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Can't hurt to have more.
No? He's like, So he looks at you actually oddly, and he's like, it could tell by the look in his face that he's not quite familiar with what you're talking about, but you can.
I pull out one of the caltrops out from under my cloak to show it to him as reference.
And he looks at it, he goes, oh, I can make these. How many would you like?
12.
Okay. So he pulls one of his guys aside and shows him the caltrop. And the guy looks at it and he goes, I'm really busy right now, but you mind picking it up tomorrow morning?
Before I leave, I pull out a bag of iron from under my cloak. Use these.
The guy looks at you, but you can tell he can look at you and he can tell that you're like an adventurer. So he doesn't really want to mess with you, like, so he kind of tries to like push. Like, this is a very weird request for him, but he's like, whatever. He gives you a price that seems almost deceptively cheap, but you did give him the raw materials to make it, however. So he doesn't have
Materials
parts.
are half the cost.
Yeah, he doesn't have to charge you for materials.
So I plan smart. I pay him in advance and a little extra for going through the trouble of making this custom order.
He's very fond of you now. He goes, well, thank you very much for your business, sir. Come first thing tomorrow morning, we'll have these ready for you.
Okay. Pleasure doing business with you. And I give him a handshake.
He shakes your hand. He's got a nice firm grip. Alrighty, Eramal, you were with Droxus, correct?
Of course.
Okay. Is there anything that you wanted to do, or are you guys done with your business in the blacksmithing district?
I called the head blacksmith over.
Okay, he comes over.
Hello, sir.
Good day, how can I help you?
Oh, what's the word? It doesn't need to be repaired, but like just
Sharpened?
sharpened. Yeah.
What is it that you were asking him to
pretty much,
sharpen in
yeah.
particular?
Pretty much, like restore anything wrong with the big
General
sword.
support.
TM.
Maintenance.
With your S-Talk?
Maintenance. Yes, maintenance.
So
So you want him to perform maintenance on your sword?
yeah, so he goes, can I see the blade?
Pull the big blade out.
He takes he takes it in his hands and he looks impressed. It's a fine weapon. He kind of looks it over, and you can tell that this guy knows what he's doing because he's seeing the problem areas that you are also seeing. Like, he can see, like, where it's not, you know, where it's a little dull, or where, you know, there's something that maybe needs to be repaired, and he's like, I think I can fix this up for you, reinforce some of the steel, get it looking pristine again. So he gives you a price that also seems very fair, especially since he can see that you're with that guy.
May I stay to watch the process?
He looks around and says, well, I don't got anybody available, but I could do it myself right now if you want to watch. It's a very odd request in his mind. So he takes you over to
If it would not bother you.
one of his stations, and he proceeds to fix up the blade. Again, he obviously knows what he's doing. He doesn't do anything, you know, harmful or weird to the blade. You know, he patches it up as you would expect. And then hands it back to you when
So,
he is finished.
Thank you, Smith. I give him the payment.
He takes it and thanks you for your business. Are you guys done here in the blacksmithing district?
I think Theodosia was also in the blacksmithing district.
Is there anything that you, Theodosia, and you, Kikana, want to do in the blacksmithing district, or are you both moving on to the art district?
I'm moving on to the art district.
Okay.
Yeah, move on to the art.
You guys can go with them if you
Okay.
want.
I'm going to head back to the southern district.
Alrighty, so to the art district. Where is the art district? Here's the art district. Okay.
It's so pretty.
Thank you.
You may want to change the. Okay.
Kik likes this place.
Okay, yeah, I'm just making some more room for the map.
Does Kick always talk in
Okay.
the third person?
The art district has a quiet buzz of excitement about it, as if the very air itself is filled with the creativity of those who would inhabit it. The northern part of this district houses an impressively lush garden lined with trees and peppered with an assortment of flowers, complete with several artist stands nearby, filled with artists that are painting or sketching the site of the little park here. There's a small area of people selling artistic creations. Of various kinds, such as jewelry, statues, small framed paintings, stuff like that. There's also a long decorative pool with artificial flowers floating in them, which house golden statues of what looks like Ilrena, the goddess of water and air, as a half-human, half-sea creature. As well as 2 fierce dragons, which, since they are next to Ilrena, you assume are probably some kind of the depiction of Lithkar, the god of fire and earth. Most of the buildings here are workshops and stores. However, if you look, you may find it possible to find an inn or a tavern or something of that nature here, but it's mostly artists and workshops.
Keek, you're just here to get yourself drawn, aren't you?
If you walk in and ask them to paint you like one of their French girls, I'm gonna fucking...
Wait, did Aramal go with them?
That's up to Aramal.
Did you come with us?
It doesn't really sound like adventure, but like, sure, I can tease Kick all about it.
I am loving this.
I'm going for the troll value.
May as well just state this while I'm here. I'm just in the bar back in the southern district.
Sure.
Alright.
Just,
Alrighty, so what is it that you want to do here?
I'll say what I'm doing in the bar when we get back to the southern district.
I look around a bit and pretty much appraise the art, and I'm just here for the sights. Not very much to get myself drawn yet, but that could be in the future.
Okay, Theodosia,
And then suddenly Kick finds a painting of a tankard.
Oh God. Theodosia, is there any specific stuff you're looking to do in the art district, or are you just seeing the sights?
I want to see if I can sell some of my shit.
Oh, that's right. You are an artiste, my dear. Okay. So there is a store that looks to sell some general works of art that you think may be promising, if you want to hop in there.
Sweet, let's go.
Okay. So you walk in, and the store is filled with lots of paintings lining the walls, some statues. It looks like artificial flowers, jewelry, all different kinds of artworks. It looks very mismatched, so it looks like they do buy other people's creations to some extent. And there is a handsome-looking human fellow standing behind the counter who grins when he sees you two walk in. Well, good day to you, ladies. How may I be of service?
I was wondering if I could sell some of my creations.
Oh, you're an artist, are you? Well, let me see what you have then, my dear.
Should I be describing it or just...
You can if you want. Yeah, the more that you describe in BESM, the better.
Okay. Theodosia looks into, like, I don't know, probably like a robe,
Mm-hmm.
and pulls out probably something tiny but not too tiny. It's like a dragon sculpture. Or should I be going with woodworking here?
It's whatever you want. He seems to be...
Dragon
Okay. He seems to be looking at it admiringly. You made that yourself, did you? Quite impressive. So, he asks if he can see it, like he holds out his hand, like if he can examine it.
Okay, she doesn't say anything and just gives it straight to him.
Okay. So he takes it and kind of observes it, and he offers you a price that is almost insultingly low.
She glares at him, grabs it, and leaves.
He's so confused. He's like, wait, what did I do wrong? He looks like he kind of completely confused.
Kick just shrugs. He has no idea about art. His art is his voice.
God shrugs and
Kick
is like,
is the.
the guy looks completely bewildered, you know? He was like, she could have
I think I offered a fair price.
Did I say something wrong?
I thought I offered a fair price.
She could have at least tried to barter. Did I insult her? Alrighty, so do you want to try another shop, or...?
No, she
No?
is extremely offended.
Okay, so,
So I assume
The
Theodosia is on her way back to the Southern District.
yeah, the sun is starting to go down at this point. You feel like you guys might want to head back to the residential district. If there's not somewhere else specific you want to go.
I'll head back.
Okay.
I've seen what I wanted to. I'd go see the mines, but they wouldn't let me in, I was told. I
You
don't
could
think I can
try.
charm a guard.
Alright, so back to the residential district. Okay, so by the time you get to the residential district, the sun is almost completely gone. And you can tell by the lights in the windows,
Oh wait, hold on, wrong building. There we go.
which of the inns and taverns are like really bumping and all that kind of stuff. So you guys, are you gonna just pick it in and go?
Well, I was gonna go into the one where Drac was.
Okay. So you guys meet up at the inn. Again, this seems to be
Well, I'm in the tavern.
Well, tavern.
Well, in tavern.
Go into the tavern
yeah.
with him.
It's basically kind of the same thing. So you walk in, there's a fair amount of people there. Looks like, just regular working class people. There are some very, pretty, very attentive barmaids who are running around serving people drinks and food. And you guys can grab a table if you like, or talk to the innkeeper about a place to stay, or whatever it is you may want to do.
Well, I've been here for the past half an hour.
Yeah, I scoot over to Drac and like, what are you just doing? What? Haven't seen you in a bit. What have you learned? Anything? Anything important?
A couple people tried to get into a drunken fist fight with me.
And you didn't fight them?
Oh no! All I did was dodge a couple, knock them.
Oh, you're gonna have to repeat that. I
joined
think you
the
got
two
cut
sitting
off.
down.
All I did was dodge a couple.
Dodge a couple of what?
Dodge a couple punches?
Yep.
Okay.
I nod approvingly. I suppose you're not a weakling then.
Yeah, I joined the two sitting down. Sort of
I call
slide.
for a barmaid.
Okay.
I'd like a drink. As I
Barmaid
fill
comes
a
over
tankard.
and barmaid comes over and smiles at you because you are very pretty. What'll you be having tonight?
I smile at her and I say, I'll have your best ale and your best tankard, please. And thank you,
She's
pretty lady.
she's like, very well. Can I get anything else for the rest of you?
I'll just take a shot of whiskey.
Okay. Any
I'm
other orders from
driving.
people?
Why?
Driving.
What?
God damn it, George.
What did you say? I didn't hear you.
Charge said he's driving.
Oh, I could make you regret
Oh.
that if I wanted to. Okay, so you guys place your order. The woman goes off to fill your order and comes back not too far later with ale and whatever food it is you may have ordered.
What does the tankard look like?
Well, the tankard looks like a pretty nice intact tankard for an inn of this caliber. It's not the most fancy inn in the world, but it definitely looks like a newer tankard.
I give her a wink.
She blushes and giggles as she hops off to another table.
I look around.
Are you looking for anything in particular?
I know sort of stage or anything out of the ordinary from just tables, the bar.
Everything looks pretty typical.
I point out to Aramal. There were a few cloak guys earlier.
I look at Draxus. Well, you know that you're a cloaked guy, right?
Yes, but I may be cloaked, but I don't hide my entire body in a cloak.
You pretty much are.
Well, sorry for missing an arm.
Sounds like you need a
You know
hand
what
there.
I'm talking
Then.
Oh, you stole my joke, shoulders! Good job.
But then I proceed to say, but, stereotypical, shady person cloaked.
Oh, don't worry. I'll keep an eye out for you.
I look at Aramal just pissed.
I give Aramal a high five.
Oh my god.
I just proceed to get up and move to a different table.
Oh my god.
No, come back. You can.
There aren't any other tables available. It is at this point in the night where the place is pretty much packed.
God damn it.
You're stuck with us.
I mean, unless you want to try and get a room for the night, in which case you could technically escape to the room.
I was gonna.
That's up to you.
I look at the group and I say, hey, so what are we doing? We're getting a room here, and I can sing for the room. I mean, you guys probably haven't heard me sing. I'll probably blow you away.
I just proceed to move up to the roof.
Doja joins him.
You guys are just gonna go sit on the roof?
Nah, this is my bed. I'm sleeping up here.
Oh my god.
Free
I
of
just
charge
walked
to sleep
in
on the
here.
roof.
The guards aren't going to be happy about that, FYI.
I guess I'll have to keep
We
an
can
eye
worry
out
about it
for real.
later.
Are you seriously going to sit on the roof?
So I turn to the remaining party members and say, all right, so lodging then.
Yes, lodging. Lodging in a form that won't get the guards to look at us weird.
I'm not.
Please, I can find blind spots on a roof.
You're up on the roof. You can't hear us.
Needs to come back down. I can find blinds.
The guards are not going to let you sleep. If you are you legitimately sitting on the roof?
Sitting on the roof probably won't sleep up here.
Well, the guards definitely have their eye on you.
Barmaid.
Like, they're not bugging you for the moment because, you know, you're a fucking bird. But, like...
Well, they don't know I'm a bird. And there are no ladders up here, so they don't know how the I got up here.
Well, no, they don't, but they do see you up there, and you could tell they're keeping an eye on you. They're not bugging you at the moment, but you could tell they have their eyes on you.
I hail barmaid and ask her.
She comes over.
So, about some lodging for the night, sweetheart.
Oh, you're looking for a room?
You got cut off.
You're looking for a room?
Yeah, a room. Think you can help us out with that?
Absolutely. She calls over this older, kind of overweight, hefty woman, who is the owner of the establishment, and she goes, how many rooms do you all be wanting?
I'll look at the two here and I say, I'm down with one room. As long as there's...
How much room does one room imply?
There are 2 beds per room.
Could you repeat that?
There are 2 beds per room.
You are getting cut off at the start of your sentence.
There are 2 beds per room.
I'm just per room.
Yeah, I only heard room.
There are 2 beds per room.
2 beds?
Yes.
And I say back, okay, well then we'll be needing 2 rooms. Our party member is currently sitting on your...
Her eyes widen. What?
I proceed to jump off the roof and join them back on the bar counter.
She looks like she's about to have a heart attack, but since you walk in and you look ready to pay for a room, she's gonna let it slide. So she offers you a very fair price, especially since she seems to, you know, she doesn't want to mess with you guys. So she offers you a very fair price for 2 rooms.
I pay a tiny bit extra for letting me stay on the roof as long as I...
She appreciates it.
Looks at him. Kick has many opinions.
I just sort of tap Draxus on the face. Sorry about the joke earlier.
It's fine.
Oh, the friendship.
I proceed to glare at Kick.
I shrug. Look, how are we gonna get along if we don't make jokes with each other? No biggie.
There's a difference between jokes and taking those jokes too.
I said one thing. How is that too far? Whatever. Anyways, who's sleeping with who, huh?
That is a good question, actually.
How about I take my fellow elf here, and you two sleep in the other room?
I have no reason to complain.
Neither do I.
Neither do
I smile at Theodosia.
As long as it is alright with you two.
Also, can we note that back in the gallery, Gina, when she was voicing the art shop owner guy, she said, "What can I do for you two ladies?"
Kick's used to that.
Yes, that was intentional.
Kick is used to that and
Okay.
Doesn't respond to them.
Kick just lives with it.
Well, when you're as beautiful as he is, sometimes you get called a girl.
Is this misogyny?
Is this loss? Memes. Okay, so yeah, it's up to you of how you want to spend the rest of your night.
I sit back. We're still at the table, yeah?
Yeah.
I ask, what is the plan for tomorrow anyway? Figure we're waking up sunrise, and then what? Do we continue looking around?
I'm gonna head to the blacksmith and then grab the custom order caltrops, and then I'll meet you back over here in the central or the south district.
All right, then what? I look to the other two to see if they have any input.
Wait, tonight or tomorrow morning?
Tomorrow. Tonight we are sleeping. I need my beauty rest.
Well, what else do we have left to do on this continent?
Go to another town. Accept some jobs, maybe.
I think a moment. We can ask the innkeeper tomorrow, or the barkeep, whatever, about jobs and if there's anyone who needs anything.
There's probably an adventurer's guild somewhere in such a decently sized town.
It would make sense.
Well, I'm gonna head up to my room and sharpen my new knives.
Is that a euphemism for something? I don't know.
No, I'm going to
Don't
use.
come in, Mom. I'm sharpening my knives.
No, I'm going to use a stone I got from a nearby river to sharpen the knife.
Okay.
Blacksmith.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah. GM, as you pointed out, they are not the sharpest knives in the world.
It's true.
I am
Are
making
you
them the
referring to
sharpest
the-
knives in the world.
Are you referring to the knives or our team members?
Ah! Amazing.
I
Incredible.
seem a bit offended at that.
I'm sorry.
Anyways, moving over to the room in the inn.
Okay. Alrighty. So are you guys just gonna turn in for the night?
Yeah,
Alrighty, then
seems like a good plan to me.
we will move to the next day then.
All right, next day. Who's up
Oh
first?
yeah, we
then? Oh shit!
You wake up to an almost eerie quietness accompanying the rising sun. However, as you prepare
This
to head...
doesn't sound like eerie quietness.
Oh wait, I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. However, as you prepare to head out for the day, you hear a few not so far away screams followed by several deeper voices yelling. The faint but familiar clank of metal armor can also be heard from outside your window.
Okay, well, I'm up. Wake up. He knows that she's not up.
I run outside of the inn.
Okay,
Without your weapons?
No, I keep my weapons on me at all times.
Okay.
You crazy?
I've got my bow and stuff.
Adventure journal.
Okay, as you go to run out the door, the owner of the inn, she kind of puts a hand in front of you and she's like, "Watch yourselves. It's bad out there." But she's
What?
not gonna stand in your way.
Could you repeat that? Because you
Could you repeat that? You cut out a lot.
Sorry, hold on. As you go to run outside, the owner of the inn kind of puts her arm out in front of you guys and she's like, "Be careful, it's bad out there."
I nod at her and I say, I got this. And, like, bow in hand and everything, just
Okay,
in case. And
so-
just string an arrow.
As you go
Normal arrow.
As you go outside,
Did someone
Chaos.
say bomb arrow?
May I request an explanation for this turn of events?
Well, let me explain. As you go outside, chaos is swiftly brewing in the streets as several men dressed in black gleaming armor with a silver handprint on their chest, begins filing into the city. Most of the
damn it, it's the silver hand.
most of the
Is
people
anyone here a werewolf?
Most of the people in the streets are running into their homes or to find some other place of safety. However, these mysteriously armored newcomers seem only intent on confronting those who are attempting to stand their ground. So if people are running, they're kind of ignoring them. They seem only interested with people who are not kind of cooperating. Several city.
On my back.
Hold on.
My arrow in my quiver.
Hold on.
And
Hold
I
on.
lean against the wall very casually and just watch.
Okay, hold on. Several city folk are being dragged off to some unknown destination, actively fighting their captors, while many others are huddling against the buildings, trying to stay out of harm's way, but are clearly too scared to run. There are 1 or 2 people that you see laying on the street injured from what you assume are failed attempts to fight these invaders off. To your left, on the street, a woman is laying in the middle of the street, her eyes wide and her body unmoving with a pool of blood next to her head. There's a little girl on her knees next to her crying, trying to shake the woman who is clearly not going to be waking up anytime soon. These armored men seem to be completely uninterested in the scene. They don't seem to care at all. They are just kind of walking through the streets, ignoring people who are kind of trying to run out of the way or stay out of the way, and only paying attention to anybody who tries to stand in their way or fight them. Otherwise, they just seem to be walking and filling the streets.
As I said, I very quickly put my arrow in its quiver, my bow on my back, and I watch them, making no signs of wanting to fight.
Okay.
I do as Kick does and lean against the wall, being trying to be so casual. And as I do, I yell into the inn, asking Aramal to run over to the blacksmith to get my custom order caltrops.
Theodosia? You here?
You know, on the wall also, but be prepared.
Just 3 very casual people on the wall.
As you guys are standing there, just observing, these invaders are not looking at you, they're not paying any attention to you, they don't seem threatened by you. You guys seem to be like, you know, a fucking tree stump for all they could care. However, this child that is by this woman's body in the street starts crying even louder. And as she does, you see a woman come up from behind the child. The woman, which you could tell from the quick movements that she makes, seems to have tan skin, long black hair, and some kind of flowy pants and tight shirt made from some type of red silk. She walks by very swiftly, wraps an arm around the girl, whispers something in her ear, and then just scoops her up in well-felt swoop and disappears into the crowd.
Can you re-describe her, please?
She is tan skin with long black hair. And she seems to be wearing some outfit of red silk with a very tight top and kind of like a flowy pair of pants.
Is there anything super distinctive on her outfit? Like a silver handprint or something?
No, she doesn't have a silver handprint on it. However, she is somebody walking in the street dressed completely in red silk. Not really something that a normal townsperson, city folk would be wearing. And she scooped up the child and is heading east.
I think I found that NPC to watch out for.
I follow her, and I motion to the other 2 to follow me.
Okay, so you guys are gonna follow her?
Oh wait! I have an owl! I say,
The owl
Demetrius,
follow!
follow! And I let him go!
So you're gonna.
So wait, are you having the owl follow the people with the silver hand or the woman?
No, the woman. The people.
So are you guys gonna
Later,
follow
later, I
the
don't
woman,
know
or
if the
are
woman-
you guys following the woman, or are you just having Demetrius follow the woman?
Oh, no, I'm gonna follow her too.
Okay.
I just want.
Okay. You just want Demetrius to kind of hang out above.
Okay,
Okay.
I have a plan.
To see than her. Sure, she's in red silk, but red silk can hide. Can't hide from the air.
Okay, so I give Kick a plan. I tell him to follow the woman in red while I follow the people with the silver handprint from the air.
Okay,
I'm
so
okay with that.
the people with the silver handprints are everywhere. When I say they are invaders, I mean there is an army of them walking through the streets.
Wonder it's called
The Invasion of Nareveth.
I thought that was
She
referring
got
to
it!
X, not gonna lie.
So
But
do you still want to try
I
to fly
repeat-
above them?
Well, before I do, I repeat to Aramal to run to the blacksmith to get my custom order
All he
caltrops.
cares about is caltrops.
I need my caltrops.
You know, you
man.
can fly over
My
there yourself,
caltrops.
but
Yeah, why don't you fly?
No, my plan was I was going to follow the one group that had already left.
Well, again, it's like more like a steady stream of people. I mean, they are definitely in groups. Like it's an army formation. Like there are definitely like squads, but they're just heading through all of the streets in like all of the directions.
Well, it's more following them to see if I can find their base.
Their base is now the city. I don't know. Go ahead with it.
Oh,
where am I supposed to meet
it's
you?
your choice.
Just meet me outside the city gates in an hour. If I find where their base is, then I will return to the southern city gates.
That laugh scares me.
I am not unnerved, Gina.
So are you guys going with this plan?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I figure I can catch up to the red woman. I mean.
Okay, so Kikana,
I can-
you and Demetrius are following the woman in red.
I can fly high enough to where they won't be able to
you
find
are
me.
trying to fly above everybody and make yourself a flying target, which is great. Aramal, are you
No,
actually
remember, I have points in stealth.
are you stealth doesn't count when you're flying above a city, Caleb. You're literally flying above the city.
Hey, I can find a place to hide and then start flying. You know that, right?
And then you're a massive flying target.
I
Aramal,
can.
alright, Aramal, are you going to the blacksmithing district to get Draxus's caltrops?
Yes, but
Okay,
I
so
jump
you
onto
are gonna
the-
do that.
onto the rooftops
And
and run.
Theodosia, what
that
are you
way.
going to be doing? Are you joining one of them? Are you following the woman in red? Are you...
I follow
Okay.
the woman in red.
Okay.
Okay. Instead of flying, I climb to the tallest building I can find.
Okay, in the district, they're all pretty much the same. But you
Oh,
can pick
I
one
think
that's
so.
you
Would
can
be
pick
the
one
black-
that's slightly higher than the others.
I climb up to the tallest building in the blacksmith district. So
Okay.
Get your own caltrop.
There's a couple of people who are standing like on the side of the road who see you climbing and immediately point and start freaking out because they have no idea what's going on. There's this invading army and all of a sudden there's a fucking Birdman like climbing up the side of the fucking building. The army, the invading army dudes kind of stop and look at you. Like, bitch, what are you doing?
Get off the walls.
So, so where are we now with this?
Well, okay. How close am I to the blacksmith at this point?
Well, you're a couple districts away. You can either go through the Crimson District or through the Merchant District. You can go either way.
Which one's faster?
I mean, they're both kind of the same.
What if I go on the rooftops? Will that be fast?
Well, your friend's
Jump from
already
rooftop
on
to
the
rooftop?
Your friend's already on the rooftops, and the newfound owners of the city don't look quite pleased by it.
Yes, but they're currently distracted by me.
Yeah,
They're
but
mirrors edging
but
this game.
genuinely, like there's probably like at least 6 or 8 of them staring at you right now, but there's dozens more that are just walking in the street, walking past them.
And I'm a very big person.
Honestly, if I could offer advice, I'd say go through the Crimson District.
Take a visit to it. See what it is.
No, I'm saying go through the Crimson District because I don't think these new army people will be going into the Crimson District.
He has a fair point there. But, like...
Alright, so so you guys are breaking up into 3 sections, so I wanna deal with each one of these groups in turn. And I'm gonna start with you, Draxus, you psychopath. So you're standing on the roof, and you've got about 8 guards staring at you right now. 8 of these guys in this heavy black armor with the silver handprint on their chest. Their hands are on the hilts of their swords. They're not making any move against you. They're just watching you.
Let's see. So, I do have heightened senses in sight. So, from the tallest building possible, I try to gain a vantage point to see where the other lines are going with the abducted people.
Okay, roll 2d6 for me.
Roll 2d6?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
God.
One
That
of
was a
them
fail.
botched. Okay.
You are not doing so hot tonight, man.
Wait.
No.
Okay. So one of them botched technically. Because you are at a good vantage spot, I might just give you the 5 and be nice about it that way. But your heightened senses is level 1, so that would give you a bonus of -1.
I'm using every advantage I can.
Yeah.
Sure, at least with a botch, I can do
Okay.
somewhat better.
So you can't see exactly what they're going, but you can tell that they are in general. Like, there's a group heading to the west, there's a group heading to the east, but it seems like the major bulk of the army is heading north towards the mountains.
The mines? I take a
Okay,
general
you know what?
guess.
You know what? Roll another d6.
What?
Just because I told you to. Just for funsies.
What are you doing?
Roll another d6.
Also, the music is stopped.
Yeah, because it ran out. I'm about to switch to another track, so.
Oh no.
Boy.
How badly are we going to get murdered?
Also,
Kill us on the
Go
first
ahead.
episode.
Roll another dice.
oh, me roll another dice?
Yes, I'm telling you, roll another d6.
A 6.
No!
What is with me and getting bad rolls?
Oh, I can't even give this to you. You botched. Yeah, they're heading somewhere towards the mountains. You can't really tell where. I have to be fair about it.
I have gotten
Sorry.
nothing but 5s and 6s the entire night.
Ugh.
You know, I guess that one eye really hindered me.
I guess
Sounded
so.
like you needed a. Geez, I already used hand.
I was about to say, you do another pun at this moment, I'm gonna unfriend you on Facebook. I don't even
Alrighty.
have.
So, they're still looking at you. They seem to be kind of agitated by the fact that you were sitting there on the roof. And you seem to be looking at where they're going.
So, before I draw any more attention to myself, I jump off the other side of the building from where they are staring at me from.
Okay. Any guards that can see you from that vantage point that see you drop down kind of give you the side eye, but the ones that were watching you seem to be moving on. They seem to have no interest in you now that you've gotten off the roof. Okay,
It's just a strange guy.
Okay, let me take care of Aramal real quick. So, Aramal, you were going to go through the Crimson District to go to the,
Fine.
Yeah? Okay.
Let's get this over with.
Alright, so you get through the Crimson District and to the Blacksmithing District without any resistance.
Aha!
As long as you keep your hands to yourself and don't bother with the army, you could, like I said, you could be a fucking tree stump for all they care. They are obviously just trying, it looks like they're just trying to spread out. Some of them are stopped on the corners and kind of watching people, but they don't accost you, they don't say anything to you.
Alright, just get his caltrops.
Okay. So, the blacksmith obviously isn't in a panic because his fucking city is being overrun. But he sees you, and he gives you the caltrops, and
If he's in a panic,
yeah, he gives.
I grab him. It's like tell him to get it together.
Okay. He kind of like tries to okay, I'm good.
And then he screams again.
No.
Question, why are we still on the map of the Southern District?
Because there's no need to be in the he's just going to pick up the caltrops. There's no reason to be in the blacksmithing district.
Well, I'm in the blacksmithing district too, but
I know which district we're going to next because I know where the woman in red is going to. So now that you've got the caltrops, what are you going to do?
I tell him my skilled smith, thank you for your services, and then I leave towards the south gate.
Okay. All right. So Theodosia, yes. Did you have a question?
Oh no, I was just going to say I run towards the south gate as fast as I can.
You want to go to the gate?
Huh?
You want to go to the gate?
Yes. Because that's where Charge and I agreed to meet up.
The gate is completely locked and overrun with these guards.
Well, we agreed around the south gate.
Okay.
Guess we ain't leaving.
Okay. Again, they don't bother you as long as you're just standing there. Okay. As for Theodosia, Kikana.
Yes.
This is you follow the woman in red and she heads north and takes you to, well, it doesn't take you, but you follow her to where is the district? Did I not put this district in here? Did I really not?
Sorry, stream. We're having.
Oh my god. I feel like there's no way I could have forgotten this. The art district, the blacksmithing district, crimson. Oh my god. Okay, hold on 1 second. It'll take me 2 seconds to upload this. Hold on 1 second.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right.
I can't believe I didn't do this. It'll literally take me 2 seconds to put this together. Goes there. Get out of here. Oh, can't get any worse from here then, can it? Okay. Okay. You should now be in the correct district.
Okay, we are.
Okay, great.
Ooh.
Okay.
And this is a fancy one.
Yes, this is the market district. Let me read you a description of the market district. Do I not have one? Did I just forget about this particular district altogether?
I am back. What did I miss?
Wow.
Market
I
district.
really just completely forgot that this district even existed for some reason. I'm the worst.
What?
Okay, so this is, I'm going to have to make up with this off the top of my head. At least I know this place very well. All right, so here we go. So this is the market district. This is the place in the center of the city. It is obviously the kind of big center for trade and commerce here. There is a huge outdoor section of tents where people are, sell wares and stuff. They've got fruits, everything you could possibly think of. If someone wants to buy it, it's being sold here. Obviously it's being overrun at the moment, so there's nothing really going on. But this place looks like it would normally be very packed and lively. Right now, the army is cutting straight through the main road of town here, going towards the mountains. So you are following the woman in red, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. So the woman in red, she goes into the market district. She's still holding on to the child. She's like got her arm around the child's waist and is walking with him. She goes into kind of the outside area here, in front of one of the tents. And there she seems to meet this woman. She looks like an older woman with kind of graying hair. She's got a child or two kind of clinging to her skirt. The woman in red hands her the child and exchanges a few words with her that you can't see. And they both kind of nod to each other. And then the woman in red heads towards the east, towards the blacksmithing district.
Hmm.
I only have one problem.
I mean, the
You
child's
see not-
safe. I want to know what that woman is. The child looks to be like someone who takes care of children. I don't care about the kid anymore.
Are you going to continue to follow her?
That's what I'm gonna do.
You know, if I hadn't moved all the way down the gate to wait for a charge, I would have ended up intercepting the woman in red.
Dang it.
Possibly.
If I stayed at the blacksmithing district, same.
Okay. So let's go
But
back to
yeah.
the blacksmithing district for a second then, if you're going to follow her. So you follow her, and she kind of goes through some back streets towards like in between two warehouses. There doesn't seem to be anybody here. Nobody is like there's no guards going in between these particular warehouses. There's nobody hiding there. And she kind of stops in the middle and kind of turns towards you and is like,
Yeah.
"Can I help you?"
Well, hi there. We saw you pick up a kid. Run away from all the army. You're very strange. So you wouldn't mind telling us if you know anything of what's going on? That'd be wonderful.
She kind of raises an eyebrow. You're not from here, are you?
What
no doubt.
gave you that clue?
Okay, so, she kind of gives you a smile and says, to be honest, I'd like to know what's going on myself. Not every day that you wake up and find your home overrun by strangers. So, at this point, you can kind of get a better look at this woman. She seems to be slightly shorter than average. She indeed does have tan skin, and seems to have plenty of curves that even her kind of baggy outfit can't completely hide. She does indeed have long black hair. She has dark blue eyes and seems to have a slight perpetual smirk on her lips. She seems,
I don't like her.
You don't like her?
I don't like her.
So before we continue the conversation between Kick and
The woman in red.
I'm going to
Yes.
the woman in red,
Yes.
yes. Can we cut back to Drac and Aramol meeting back at the southern gate?
If you want to, I suppose.
Yeah. Assuming this is happening at the same time.
Mm-hmm. It would be, yes. Alright, well, you two are,
Are we cutting?
He wanted to cut to the two of you meeting in front of the south gate.
Yeah. But, so you meet me at the south gate, hand me the
Caltrops.
the caltrops. I couldn't remember the word. And, then I relay the information that I obtained while on top of the building.
Which really amounts to, they're going that way!
Well, I know they're
I
going
could tell that from the
north.
ground.
Yeah.
Yes, but like the general area,
Yeah.
it's still a good idea of where they're going because
Sure.
even if they leave one way, we know they're all converging to the mountains.
Yeah.
Say they exit through the eastern gate, we know they're converging to the mountain.
You notice, by the way, the same thing that, Kikana and Theodosia noticed, that, the guards are now starting to stop on the corners and are kind of standing there with their arms crossed, kind of guarding. They've kind of just walked in acting like they own the place, and now they're kind of just standing there keeping an eye on people.
What's the highest point near me?
Are
Well-
we going to do another climbing adventure? and get
No,
attention?
remember we're in the southern district at the moment. All the
Yeah.
buildings are the same
You
height.
are...
But what about the gate? Is it tall?
Yeah, I mean, the walls, are... I mean, they're city walls. They're obviously
Not
very
tall enough.
They're about, yeah. But again, you're gonna have a hard time getting towards the walls, being that the gate is completely flooded with these guys. They are they have closed the gate and are standing in front of it.
You think I could ask them?
You think asking the invaders is going to help?
Well,
I'm not trying
I
to
could
do
try.
anything. I'm just trying to understand the situation.
Hi there, invader, sir. How is your day going?
It's up to you
Why-
guys if you want to go up to them or not.
I guess I'll go with him to make sure he doesn't mess anything up.
Alright, he agreed with it. Let's do it.
Alright, so go ahead.
That's not a good basis for doing
It's your show.
No, if he's going to do it, I may as well go with him.
Oh my lord.
Well, you said you were going to come with before I confirmed that I was going to do it, so...
Oh.
You gave me the confidence to do this.
Besides, if something messes up, at least it'll be two of us. One of us having healing.
And the other being tanky as all hell.
I just realized we're also the two most destructive people here.
You're also in front of dozens and dozens and dozens of these invaders. Alright, so go ahead if you want to talk. If you want to talk to them, the show is yours.
Did somebody say tornado?
Oh my god. Okay, so
Okay.
what is this?
No.
It is an hour and 50 minutes for my campaign to completely collapse in on itself. It's a new fucking world record.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
Okay. So Aramol and I are conversing with the new occupants.
Okay,
One
so
that doesn't seem hell-bent on just staring
I'm just
at
gonna
everything.
set that up. No, I'm joking. Well,
Roll
go ahead, go
17
talk to
dice,
them.
7 cards.
It's your show. You gotta approach them. What are you going to say to them? What are you doing? Guys?
I'm gonna leave that to Aramol because I'm not good with it.
Okay, Aramal, what are you going to say to them?
How tall am I compared to the person I'm going to talk to?
They're okay, so they're normal human height.
Charge Aramol is how tall?
Let's check.
Let's look at the dandy character sheet.
7'8".
I'm pretty sure it was
7'8". I just checked the character sheet.
Wait, how tall?
7 feet 8 inches.
Oh my.
All right,
Also,
Dragon
should
Boy,
we
go
just-
ahead. Put on the charm.
So wait, should we move Charge's token over next to mine?
It's up to you guys
don't
if
worry
you
about
want
the
to.
token.
Yeah, it's less about the tokens and more about the role playing. Oh God, where did he go? There we go.
He was under mine.
Alright. Well, I'm not even sure. I don't want to, like, upset the dude or anything like that.
Yeah, that's why I'm not talking.
Wow. Well, it's up to you if you want to say something or if you want to maybe back out and wait for the others or whatever other plan you might make up.
Okay. Hello, good sir. We are travelers that have recently entered the area. We were planning on heading out, but I see that is likely not to happen. But still, may I know what's going on?
The guy puts his hand on the hilt of his sword. Nobody leaves.
You cut out there.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. He puts his hand on the hilt of his sword and just looks at you pointedly. Nobody leaves.
Nobody what?
Leaves.
Oh, okay.
I'm half tempted to say something, and this is just me normally talking. I'm half tempted to say something that'll fuck this all up.
Oh,
I wouldn't suggest it.
No,
an hour
Me-
and a half.
me as the player.
Caleb
I'm half
wants
tempted
to
say
say
so we
something to
can't
fuck
make
it up.
like a tree.
Okay.
I'm half tempted to say so we
I
can't
got-
make like a tree.
Oh my god.
I can see that. But may I know why?
This city belongs to us. Nobody leaves.
I pull Aramol away for a second. Look, it's obvious that we aren't going to convince them to let us through.
At this point, I know that. I'm trying to understand why they're here in the first place.
I'm pretty sure he's on a monotone record track of nobody leaves. If this is the most we...
To measure swords with them at this point.
Yeah,
If nobody...
they don't look like they're budging anytime soon.
If nobody leaves is the most we can get out of, then we better try and find Theodosia and kick.
Very well.
Okay. So. Back to the blacksmithing district. In the alley. So yeah, so Kalani, I'm sorry, the woman is there kind of entertaining you. The woman in red, she seems kind of vaguely interested in why. She'll look at you and go, may I ask why you were following me?
Well, I mean, middle of an invasion, and in bright clothing grabs a kid and runs off. I'm an adventurer. Here's an adventure. We walked into here yesterday and have no clue what's going on.
She visibly relaxes. She goes, I understand. So, she says, allow me to explain. And she kind of, not really bows, but she kind of like, half bows in deference, like, you know, she's here to explain herself to you. And she understands why you would want to follow her. She says, my name is Kalani. Kelani. I will type it in the chat for, Emma the note taker.
Thank you, Emma. You're a lifesaver.
I work and live in the Crimson District. That, woman was, an old friend of mine. She's, Kalani seems to be figuring out how the best way to kind of describe this to you.
Wait, she lives in the Crimson District? So she's a prostitute.
So Kalani kind of sits back and goes, my friend there and I have a vested interest in making sure the children of this city stay out of whatever bollocks this is.
I nod. That's a good interest. I appreciate that interest.
Who are you?
If you came with us and we found our friend, went back to the inn we stayed in, and have a nice talk. I lean in a little bit outside of the view of these friendly people.
She goes, are you... She kind of... Her smirk kind of widens. Are you implying that you would be interested in liberating our fair city of these new friends of ours?
I don't say anything but smile a bit and shrug.
So she kind of looks between the two of you. You know, this very handsome, but at the moment kind of serious-looking elf, and this very quiet human girl. She kind of looks back and forth to you and goes, well, very well. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. Why don't you get your friend? Meet me at a tavern in the Crimson District called the Virtue's Bane. We can get a private room and I'll answer any questions you may have.
Virtue's Bane, okay. I nod at Theodosia, and pretty much, well, I'll see you there then.
Connie kind of
Theodosia's all-
she kind of smiles and bows and goes, I do hope to see the both of you again. And she kind of turns around and sort of slides out of the alleyway and back into the crowd.
I have an important question.
Mm-hmm.
Is she cute?
She's
Is she good
smoking.
looking?
She's smoking. She
All
told
right.
you. She told you that she, comes from the Crimson District. Yeah.
Right back. I need snacks.
So I'd say we two go to where the meeting place was.
Did you want to take a
And
quick
listen to
break? Were you
people.
saying, Emma?
She was going to get something.
Oh, okay.
Snacks. She wanted
Get
some
snacks from the fridge.
Okay.
That was interesting interaction.
Oh, it's about to get more interesting.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
Snacks acquired.
Now the question is, do I have a map for this place or no? Because I might not have a map for this place.
Wait,
Not
we
every
haven't
place has a map.
though.
Okay, I do not have a map for this place, but that's fine.
The two groups haven't met back up though.
Yeah, that's where we're heading
Yeah.
to.
You guys
Yeah.
gotta still meet back up.
All right, we meet. I look at the two, just like, hi, okay, and I tell them that I've received an invite to a tavern, and all of us should go. And pretty much don't say much more, but try to make it clear that it's important.
I then proceed to share the information that Aramel and I have gained.
Did you just want to get it on?
I shake my head. No, I've received an invite. We need to go to the tavern
I didn't come on to
I
her,
just-
she came on to me!
and accept the invite.
I just put my one hand on my hip. You know, it sounds like you're trying to be desperate here.
And I just glare at them for a moment because they're not picking up what I'm putting down. I'm not.
They're not picking up what I'm putting down.
But
Incredible!
I then proceed to tell Kik and Theodosia that all of the soldiers in the black armor seem to converge north towards the mountains.
We could see that just from the way. Anyways,
Theodosia glares at Kick just like, can you please shut up?
Okay.
I seem surprised that she glared at me. I thought she was enjoying my company, and I might be a bit hurt by this harshness.
Anyways, do we move on to the Crimson District now?
I try to assure us all there.
Okay.
You just sort of dragged me there.
I'm just pulling up
I
my...
can't drag you. You're a massive dragon guy.
Why is this not here?
I have a
There
map
we
of the
go.
Crimson
Okay.
District.
Do I have to roll to try and convince Aramel to go?
No,
No.
I'm coming. I just shrug like.
Maybe
Whatever.
Ariel will
Alright,
want some
fine.
Okay.
action.
Where is my music? Here we go. Okay. So, to the Crimson District we go. Okay. So, the... see, this this is not really good because they've already invaded. Okay. Okay, so it seems at this point that most of the chaos in the city has kind of died down. Just about all of the citizens have gone either back into their homes or in some kind of, place of business or building of some type. The army is incredibly present. They are on the streets. They are on the street corners. They are standing. They are watching. They are very much here. But it seems like the kind of original flood of incoming soldiers has kind of started to peter off. However, as chaotic as the other areas of the city were, the Crimson District is a little different. The atmosphere of the Crimson District is almost playful, dotted with low, joyful giggles and the faint smell of incense that seems to change as you pass different buildings, which infer wow, what sentence did I write here? Which would greatly infer the kind of wares that are sold at those particular establishments, quote unquote.
Don't worry.
They're brothels. They're whorehouses.
I proceed to start to say repeatedly, Jesus Christ, I feel like I could just get drunk off the atmosphere.
A small rock garden.
There's much worse places to be. This is a pretty nice one.
There's a small rock garden here, splattered with flowers that adorn topped by a statue of a scantily clad woman standing beside a dragon. It's kind of hard to see. I don't know if I can zoom you in on that. But she's a scantily clad woman standing behind a dragon, and the dragon's claws are reaching out and holding a bowl that contains several gold coins, which, considering what part of town you're in, have surprisingly not been stolen yet. They are just kind of sitting there out in the open.
It's a trap.
It's definitely a trap.
Aside from the plentiful brothels here, there are a couple of small eateries as well as an inn and tavern that seem to have plenty of rowdy patrons inside despite what is going on. But it doesn't take you too long to find a tavern with a sign outside that looks a little worn with age that says The Virtue's Bane.
You could have made it a bear tavern, Gina. You could have done it.
We'll call it The Virtue's Bear. How about that? Oh. Shh, it's okay. The bears will come in later. Anyway.
I make sure everyone gets in.
Okay.
To the whoever gets there in charge.
The Virtue's Bane.
See if I see.
Oh, the Virtue's Bane Tavern, again, looks like most any other tavern, except that it looks like a tavern in a red light district. There are plenty of women and men alike sitting on various people's laps, flirting, chatting, laughing. Lots of drinks being served, going around. As you guys walk in, a particularly handsome-looking man who looks to be some kind of worker for the establishment, possibly maybe like a cook or just some kind of general worker, sees you and kind of motions his head to follow him.
Follow?
Yes. Okay, so if you're gonna follow him, he takes you upstairs into a room at the very end of the hall. He reaches into his pocket and takes out a key and unlocks it. It seems like almost it's a regular room. There are some chairs in there. There is a fairly nice looking bed. It looks in good condition. And sitting in one of the chairs is Kalani, still dressed in the same outfit that she was, and she just kind of smiles at you all. And She reaches into her pocket and flicks up a gold coin.
I just say to Kick, so is this the person who sent you the invite?
I look. I frown and I say, "Look, I'm here on business and not for pleasure, thanks."
The guy catches the gold coin and closes the door and locks it, leaving you guys with your privacy. Kalani smiles at you and goes, "This particular establishment is not my personal place of business, I assure you."
Kick just motions to her like, "Yeah, see?
If you're interested, though, I could take you to my place. It's called the House of the Golden Harlot, if you're interested.
Kick turns. I turn a bit red.
Okay, so do Charge and I agree that Draxus and Arrow just start bursting out in laughter?
Yeah.
Yes! Charge is just... Yes. Aramar laughs. Oh my god.
We both just look at Kick. Not here for pleasure, eh?
Kick's red.
So, Kalani motions for you all to have a seat.
I go to have a seat, pretty frustrated.
So she looks at you all and goes, "If you're truly
I
interested..."
sit down, but on the way to my seat, I pat Kick.
Oh god,
I
cannot wait for the last part of... Oh god, you guys are gonna die. So Kalani looks at you guys and goes, "So you told me you're a group of adventurers, is that right?"
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, with a group as mixed as this, what else could we be?
What were you
No,
doing
we're the fucking Blues Brothers.
What were you doing in Nareveth?
What'd you say? You blacked out there for a moment.
What were you doing in Nareveth?
Huh?
What were you doing in Nareveth?
What are we
Okay.
doing? Passing through. We were supposed to be passing through.
We were supposed to be passing through, and then all of a sudden, these guys who I'm pretty sure are the Silver Hand from...
Poor timing on your part, I assume.
You keep cutting out.
Poor timing on your part, I assume.
No.
Very well. I assume that your plan is to attempt to leave the city.
I'd like to do that. I don't exactly enjoy being a place for...
I'm sorry, what? You cut out.
What?
You cut out.
Gina, you are doing nothing but cutting out.
Oh. You cut out. I didn't hear what you said. Kikana.
You are doing nothing but cutting out.
I'd like to pass through. I don't enjoy being...
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I think
Yes.
Discord's being a bit of a butt.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Anyway, poor timing on your part, yes?
Yeah. Very poor timing.
Very,
At least it's something to write about.
very well then. You certainly are an interesting lot.
I mean, when you have a group as diverse as us,
You never know what might happen with such people around you.
Very well then.
I mean-
Are you truly interested in helping relieve us of this little problem?
I just pull out one of my many daggers. Does this answer your question?
She gives you a rather delighted smile. It does indeed, my dear. It does indeed. Very well then. I should, I suppose, tell you a little bit more about who I am then.
I'm interested.
So,
Draxus just looks over at Kakana, just like, you kept trying to play this off, and now you're delighted about all this.
everything I've told you so far is true. My name is Kalani. I do work for the House of the Golden Harlot as a courtesan, we like to call ourselves. However, I happened to scoop up that child that you saw because I had sort of ventured out to try and figure out what is going on. Is there anything that you saw? Do you know these
Did anyone
people?
else hear what she was saying?
Nope. Yeah, you keep cutting out, Gina.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can see that you're talking, but nothing's coming out.
Needed, I can do it for you.
Hold on. Can you hear me now?
It is
Yes.
now.
Okay.
Test 2-3.
And now I
Yeah.
cannot.
Well, I'm not speaking. I'm waiting for you guys to tell me if you can hear me.
I can hear you that and clear.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Like,
Okay.
I can see on the Discord that you're talking, but nothing is coming through.
Press Control R, Caleb, on Discord.
Can you hear me, Caleb?
Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, Discord is being a pain. Okay. So anyway, Kalani says, what I've told you is true. I do work for the House of the Golden Harlot as a courtesan, as we like to call ourselves. She kind of glares at the boys. Can you guys hear me?
I need to reload my Wi-Fi because I can't hear much.
Can you guys hear me?
She glared
I
at us, and
apologize
what?
for this.
She glared and then what?
Well, that was all I said. I just want to make sure that you can hear me.
Like, I'll reload and then it will be fine, and then you'll just cut out again.
Yeah, that has been the experience.
Okay, I reloaded my Wi-Fi.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know why Discord's doing this.
I don't know either.
Now I cannot hear you. Like, you'll say things and, like, it'll show that you're saying it, but I won't be able to hear you.
I know what I'm gonna do.
Alright, we're gonna take a quick break. Hold on 1 second. We're gonna fix this. Hold on
I
1
will
second.
be right.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Now, will I be able to continue to hear you is the problem.
I don't know. I guess it depends on if Discord feels like working.
Alright, hi, I am back on a different device. Hopefully my quality didn't just take a
No,
nosedive.
you sound good. Are you good, Caleb?
I'd switch to a different device, but my only other device is my iPad, and that's broken.
Can you hear me? He can't hear me.
Yeah, you keep cutting out.
I did not hear a word of what you just said.
I did.
Yeah, it's Discord.
Hold on. What if I try without my headphones?
Should we find
Hello?
Hello?
thing to use? Like a voice thing?
Can you hear me, Caleb?
Still cutting out, but yes.
Well, I can hear myself through your speakers.
Huh?
I can hear myself through your
We
speakers.
can hear a reverb.
Well, no, like, I can hear myself completely through yours, so you should be hearing me.
Well, you'll cut out it on occasion.
Well, on occasion, voices are gonna cut out, but as long as you can hear me speak sentences.
I'm not hearing half your sentences, so... Should we try Roll20's voice stuff?
I don't know how to use it. Let's see.
Roll20 has voice stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
Huh.
Can you hear me at all? Sorry about this, everyone. Did you guys hear me over Roll20 at all?
No.
Kinda.
I'm trying to figure out how to do the Roll20 voice stuff.
Yeah.
I'm in settings. I want to receive video and voice from others.
Alright, let's see.
Ugh. Do we need a backlog to something else if Discord's gonna be this bad?
I hear you guys perfectly, so I don't understand.
I hear you perfectly.
It's just Caleb then. Let's see.
This is bad.
I know.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
As of current, yes.
Yeah.
Caleb?
As of current, yes.
Okay.
And now I can't.
Now you can't?
It keeps dropping every once in a while.
I heard now you can't.
Yeah.
Um... Let me try this. Let me try this. Can you hear me any better now?
I heard that.
Okay.
I heard better now.
Okay. Can you still hear me?
Nope, still cutting out.
I'm still cutting out.
Hello.
Hello? I'm trying to mess with my input sensitivity so that you guys can hear me.
I just reset my voice setting.
I still hear you.
How do you reset your voice settings?
It didn't do half of what I needed it to. Oh god. Why does this have to happen?
I do not know. Can you hear me, Caleb?
I can now.
Okay. Because I turned my sensitivity all the way down.
I think that might have been it. I don't.
Can you still hear me, Caleb?
Yes.
Okay, so if I'm not dropping now, that might have fixed it.
Yeah, I can fully hear you.
Okay.
I just reconnected.
Okay.
I think I can hear full sentences from you now.
Okay, cool. Alright, if it happens again, let me know, but I think we are good. I apologize to anybody watching. We've lost pretty much all of our watchers, but that's alright. Okay, so, you guys are still hearing me as I'm talking like this, full sentences? I'm not dropping or
Yeah,
anything?
I can fully hear you.
Okay, that's definitely what it was then. I
Hallelujah.
apologize. I apologize. I'm sorry.
fine.
Okay, so let me try this again. Alright. So, Kalani will look at you and say, I'm going to take a chance on the lot of you. Because we're in a really bad bind here. And I don't know who these people are. Do you know who these people are?
I mean, they look like the Silver Hand from Skyrim.
I tried to ask them, but nothing came.
I
Not the
shrugged.
talkative
They don't
types,
seem
I
friendly.
assume. What was that, darling? She looks at you.
They don't seem friendly. They seem more hell-bent on hurting everyone or taking something. Could be your valuable minerals. I've been around the world enough. But someone always wants something.
The mines are an attractive prospect. I'm not quite sure, though. I haven't gone up north of the city, but it certainly looks like that's where they're heading. So,
That's what I was thinking too. When I got a vantage point, I saw them all converging somewhere to the north.
I'm going to try to put this in the most delicate way possible, because I have a good feeling about you lot. So, I wasn't lying when I said that I work as a courtesan. She glares at the guys who thought it was funny that she might be plying her wares. However,
Sorry, ma'am. It was just.
I am
this...
not sorry.
However-
No, the reason we were laughing. I tried to explain why we were laughing.
Mhm. So,
Oh, shit.
so I'm not simply just a courtesan. I'll let you in on one of Nareveth's many little secrets. Not everybody that lives in this city is, virtuous, shall we say. This city has quite a healthy and effective underground to it.
Well, considering you guys have a healthy mind system, I'd have to say so.
Very cute, but I wasn't talking about a physical underground. I was referring to a criminal underground. She
Had
sits
to
back
try
in
and
her
at least
chair.
throw the joke in somewhere.
The reason why I brought that child to that woman is because I know that she has a soft spot for children, and I wanted the child to be safe. Just because I happen to be friends with many of the members of said criminal underground doesn't mean I want something bad to happen to a child. Especially one that clearly just lost her mother. She doesn't look happy at the memory of it. Oh, is Shelty's hashtag suspicious coming back in?
Yeah. Here.
Also, before I forget, I take my knife out of the table.
Okay, oh, good. So, believe it or not, as you may, one of the more interesting aspects of the underground here in Nareveth is that we tend to play nice with the guards here. Not these people, but the actual Nareveth guards. There's an understanding between both groups, if you happen to catch my drift.
I nod. Oh, yes, I know what you mean.
The balance between the two is precarious, but it seems to work. Me and none of my friends haven't gotten arrested in a while, actually, now that I think about it. She kind of has like a thoughtful look on her face.
So what you're saying is, somebody has gone and fucked everything up.
Well, I'm not sure what happened. I'm not a member of the Underground myself, but I'm friendly with several members of the Underground. They like to come around to the Golden Harlot every now and again. And they're trying to gather information on exactly what is going on here, so I thought I would take a stroll around, and then I found that poor child, and then you were following me. She smiles at Kikana. And smiles at Theodosia.
I shrug a bit. A little smug.
So, I was just simply trying to help some of the powers that be out and figure out exactly what is going on. I did get one piece of information, however. I have heard this invading army be referenced as the Hand of Twilight. Unfortunately...
Think for a second. Have I ever heard of the Hand of Twilight before?
No.
You could roll for it. I said you could roll for it if you want.
I would love to roll.
Remember,
for it.
you guys rolled to
I
see
would
what you
also
knew
like
about.
to roll for it.
Okay, there they go. They're just throwing D6s out there.
Hey, you rolled a 1!
Finally!
Hey, there's that crit of the day.
My knowledge in bandit groups is very knowledgeable.
I mean, considering your backstory.
That's true. That's true. Okay, yeah, because you do not like the criminals, so it turns out that...
Why? Wait, hold on a second. Why are all my rolls so in tune with my character?
Because you're role-playing correctly, that's why.
I'm role-playing so correctly, even the RNG is role-playing me.
It's true. Alrighty. So, being that you have the background that you do, as soon as Kalani says that they are called the Hand of Twilight, you almost immediately know who she's talking about. So here's what you know about the Hand of Twilight, because you made a crit, and I didn't expect that, but you earned the information, so here you go. The Hand of Twilight is a fairly large and well-connected group of thieves and assassins who, in recent years, have become more of an army rather than just kind of a band of thieves. The other thing that you kind of know about them is that they have a very specific way of operating. They usually operate by having different branches of their organization in all of the major cities, which they refer to as fingers. They really love the hand motif. So most major cities on Mastria have a finger of the Hand of Twilight within it. But other than that, there's really not much known about them. But you do know that they are assassins and thieves that have kind of grown into more of an army lately than anything else. So you can
Also,
do with that
Aramil-
information what you will.
Aramo rolled a 2, so
Yeah, I rolled the same amount.
Well, because
Maybe
I
I
assume
would've worked
because
with
I
them,
assume you're
actually.
going to share this information, I kind of just relayed as much information as any one of you would gather, so you can you know
Yeah.
feel free to share it with the others at your will.
because I don't feel like repeating everything you just said,
Yeah,
I will just
you can
I
assume
will
that
just
he
say
told
I
you.
repeated everything you just
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
I know nothing, but now I know more, and not appraisingly.
To think we'd see one of the fingers here, or one of the fingers here.
Kalani kind of raises an eyebrow at you and says, you know, now that you mention it, that's a pretty damn good question. She kind of, like, looks like, you know, thoughtfully for a second and goes,
Why would
No.
we meet one of the fingers here?
I'm not really quite sure, to be honest with you. She kind of shrugs. Like I said, I'm not really part of the underground, so I don't know. However, they usually stay on the underground. From the way that you describe them, they tend to be more subtle than this. So, maybe it has to do with the fact that there is no finger of this Hand of Twilight here.
They could be, they could be the technical odd one out of the finger.
There is always a thumb.
I suppose. So she sits back and looks at you guys and goes, if you're really serious about helping us out here, I could put you in touch with one of my friends who's in the upper echelons of the Hand of Twilight, of the Nareveth Underground, shall we say.
The Hand of Twilight.
I look at the group and like, well, I mean, I'd go for it. I don't want to be cooped up here until the Hand of Twilight decides that I can leave.
It certainly seems like they're not letting anyone out anytime soon.
I mean, we don't really have anything else to lose other than our lives.
That's a pretty big thing to
Famous
lose.
last words. Closely followed by one of my friends who, during a D&D campaign, once said, "It's just one." Famous last words.
Was the RNG so stacked against him?
Just one can be a lot if it's really powerful.
But as I say, we don't really have much of anything else to lose.
Alright, then, here's what I'll do. She kind of stands up and stretches. Unfortunately, I can't spend too much more time with you. My master is going to be wondering where I disappeared to. She kind of grimaces. She goes, but I can put you in contact with my friend in the upper statuses of the underground here. Come back to the district here at nightfall. Normally he patrols around here at night. He is how do I describe this guy? He'll likely be walking around at night. It's usually his patrol. He takes to wearing a pin of a red rose on his cape. You can just tell him I sent you. She winks at Kikana.
Smiles.
Other than once you speak with him, I'm sure he'll be able to tell you exactly what they're planning to try and end this, because from what I know of the underground, they're not going to be standing for this for very long. In the meantime, I'm certainly going to be laying low, and I would suggest you do the same. That's just my advice, of course. Okay. So she is going to bid you all adieu, as she does need to get back to her job before her master finds her and beats her. Because that's how the Crimson District rolls. And not in like the fun way, in like the you've actually lost me money way. Yep. So if there's anything else you guys want to do until nightfall, if you guys are going to come back and meet her contact, if you're going to
I'm going to stick around the Crimson District and wait for the contact.
Okay, so you guys are just going to wait till nightfall?
Wait.
Okay. Then we can move straight to nightfall. I have sound.
But I am going to test something.
Okay.
Concerning the pile of gold with the statue.
Oh, okay.
What? He keeps going. I'm very suspicious of you testing something with the statue. It looks like something we should not touch.
No? Let me try this.
Okay.
So, I proceed to grab a rock from one of the nearby wells. I believe those are wells on the map.
They're fire pits, actually. But you didn't know that yet.
I proceed to grab a nearby rock, and I proceed to flick it in the vicinity of the statue.
Nothing happens.
Hello?
Nothing happens.
Huh?
Nothing happens.
Take 2 guesses as to what's happening to us, Gina.
Okay.
Huh. I'm just watching you from a distance because I don't trust that statue.
I then proceed and try and use some wind magic to lift one of the coins out of the thing the statue is holding.
You can still hear me, correct?
I can
Yes,
see
I can
you
hear you
talking,
now.
but it is popping in and out, and I don't hear you saying anything right now.
Because I wasn't speaking at that moment. I was listening to what you were saying. So you want to try like a small wind?
A small little like
Wind.
gust to lift one of the coins out.
Okay. I'll let you do that without a roll. The coin floats up in the wind like you would expect it to, and when the spell runs out, the coin just clinks back into the bowl in the dragon statue's hands.
Hold on. Repeat that?
The wind spell lifts the coin up as you would expect,
Yes.
and when the wind spell runs out, the coin just clinks back into the bowl.
Okay. I'm out of ideas for what it could be now.
It could be an offering pile and just kind of taboo to touch it. If it's known among the town that it's taboo to touch the offering pile, then you wouldn't touch it. Is anyone watching us as we're doing this?
People are kind of giving you a weird side eye. Like every once in a
I motion to
while.
the side-eye people. The whole statue gives me the vibe that it's just kind of something religious.
I still get the makings of a trap from it.
Roll a d6, Shelties.
Oh, great.
Wait, why Shelties?
Shit!
It does look religious to you, but it could go either way.
I'm going to roll, because this doesn't look right to me.
You want to roll?
Yeah.
Do you have a sense evil
Crap.
thing? Did we talk about somebody having a sense evil thing? Maybe that was with charge.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you get sense evil? I don't think so.
I think so, but I'll check.
Yeah, I don't see it.
6 and
Yeah, that was with touch though.
no, the touch is I cannot feel anything.
Well, no, remember I told you we made that mistake where you took 6 Sense touch and then we also gave it to you as a defect.
No, remember, I wanted sense evil.
Correct. I don't know where my mind was. You are absolutely correct. So you can...
Because I sense something wrong with that statue.
Well, he has sense evil. He can roll for it if he wants.
Let's do that. 1d6, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
Amazing.
Well, you have the heightened sense. Well, actually, no.
What
Why
is this bad luck?
Why did it go? Didn't you just roll a 5? Or did you
No,
roll a
I
6?
did.
Okay, I thought I saw
He
him
rolled
roll
a
a 5 too. No, you that's a critical failure. You botched that completely. I
People
can't.
having bad dice luck because somebody touched the statue.
You don't know, man. This statue's
Hey, I didn't
giving
touch the statue.
this statue's giving off like you don't know. I mean, it could be a statue or it could be Satan. You don't really know either way.
I refuse to touch the statue because I sensed something wrong with it.
Okay.
At this point, I'm just worrying over the statue, but being able to do nothing about it. So I'm going to wait until the contact shows up.
Okay. So I think this will be the last scene for the night. Let's do this.
Is that fire?
Oh
It
no!
is fire. Okay, so
God damn it.
later
This is
that
why we
night,
don't-
you walk around the Crimson District. It seems to be pretty quiet. Off in the distance, you hear a fire. And if you want to follow the fire, it's going to lead you back to here, near the statue. The fire pits are now lit up.
I don't think I ever left the statue.
Okay. Well,
Did you just
do
stand all day
you
staring?
want to stay by the statue? Did you legitimately stay by the statue? Because that might make a difference here.
Yeah, I
Okay.
just stayed by the statue,
Okay.
just sort of watching.
Okay, so if you stayed by the statue, you saw at some point, like, just as, like, sundown was coming, that, some people came by and lit the fireplaces, before the sun went
Wait,
down.
people came by and lit the fireplaces?
Yeah. They lit the fireplaces.
Okay.
So the fire burns within the rock garden that is adorning the Crimson District here. The light of the flames dance along the statue, gleaming off the gold coins in the offertory bowl that are still left untouched even within this chaos. They are still standing there, untouched from when you last were there. Nobody went near them. There were a few other people in the area sitting by the fire and talking quietly. And the members of the hand seem to not really be paying any of those people or you any mind at the moment. They're still just kind of sitting there patrolling, kind of looking around.
Making sure nobody plots a revolt against them or something.
Yeah. Possibly. So, as you guys are standing by the fire, there is a man that kind of approaches the area. He has a hood on with white-blue hair coming out of it, and a boyish face, with his arms crossed over his chest. He stops in front of the statue and looks up with it with something that looks close to adoration in his eyes. His smile kind of widens as he turns to your group. Lovely night, isn't it, considering the day's events? He turns his full body towards you, and glinting off of the firelight, you can see what looks like a pin of a red rose holding his cloak closed.
So you're our contact.
He kind of looks at you with the raised eyebrow. I wouldn't say such things too loudly if I were you.
Draxus, you've never been secretive before in your life.
Well, he best learned to be. He kind of puts his arm out with the flourish and kind of bows, holding his cloak in his hand. He's a little over dramatic. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Dylan. I see that my friend was correct in saying that you look like you might be able to assist us. You look like the most capable people I've run into thus far.
I just sort of look between us, just like, really? We look like the most capable people?
Well, you're armored and have weapons. That's more than I can say for just about anyone else in the town at the moment.
Point taken.
I smile and I like him already. He's got flourish, and that's something I enjoy. And I say, how about we grab a drink in a quiet place?
He looks at you and thinks about it for a moment and then nods. That sounds like a fine idea indeed. So
I just start muttering to myself. Seems pompous.
he leads you back to the Virtue's Vein and gets a table in the corner. One of the people that is working there, like one of the bar maidens, immediately comes over and just hands you all ale.
I appraise the tankard. What does it look like? I'm going.
I should have expected this.
Every time you send me a drink.
Oh my god. The tankard looks like your regular standard tankard. There's nothing special about it. Your tankard is a much prettier tankard.
Looking at it from every which angle.
Yeah, what do you think appraising is? He has to make sure his tankard is
what was the guy's name again?
Dylan. Dellin, by the way, for...
Okay, Dylan.
Oh,
Okay,
A-N.
so
Wow,
I
can't
just,
spell
I
my own
just,
characters' names. Go ahead.
I just, I just look over at Dylan. Just, you better get used to this.
He chuckles. I appreciate eccentric people, actually. So,
I smile.
he looks at the woman and,
I also politely pass over my tankard of ale to Kick.
he,
What
kind
does
of makes a
his
motion on...
tankard?
He kind of makes a motion on the table, and, the woman walks away. She comes back, shortly later with some rather delicious-looking food for you all.
How about we try the detect evil thing out again?
You want to try to detect evil on what? On Dellin? On Dellin?
Yeah, bad intentions.
You can try.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to roll a d6. I'm going to shut this fire off now.
6. Oh wait.
No, that's his
A
previous
2.
roll.
Okay,
Yeah,
so that
2.
that goes
It
down
didn't
to a
load
1
yet.
with your thing. You do not sense anything untoward about this guy. He seems pretty open, laid back.
My
Wonderfully fanciful.
character has poison level 2.
Mm.
I believe that also counted for. Huh?
You want to try to
Did you
detect?
just poison me?
Are you
No.
you're trying to
No.
see if he poisoned you? Is that what you're getting at?
No, I'm trying to. At this point, I can't trust the town very much.
Mm.
You never know if there could be something lurking in the shadows.
Mm.
So I'm going to detect poison in the food.
Okay.
That's what I was worried about.
Okay.
Be too obvious to detect poison in the drink.
You can roll a d6 for it. You have poison level 2, right?
Fuck. God damn it.
Well, that's still a 3. You're reasonably sure that there's nothing weird about this food or drink.
Alright.
Always nice to be cautious.
No.
I
So,
kind of gave him a side eye. You should treat the nice fellow nicely. He's being nice to us, and he's fanciful, and I like him.
Well, like, what Aramal and Draxus are doing is just observation.
Right. So Dylan sits back, takes a nice big swig of ale, and goes, I'm more than willing to take the help, but I need to know that you guys are in it and that you have the combat expertise necessary to do what's going to have to be done to rectify our little situation.
So you're saying we're going to have to prove ourselves in a bout of combat?
Kind of. So, he leans in and motions for you all to lean in closer. He kind of drops his voice. Right now, the most important thing that we in the underground can use is information. We don't know who these people are, really. We don't know why they're here. We don't know what their motives are or what they're going to do next.
Well, I can tell them the information I know. Well, everything I know about the people.
Sure, you could do that.
I decide to tell him about the Hand of Twilight.
I appreciate the information. But we need to know more about exactly what they're doing here and what their exact goal is at the moment. So, I have a little bit of a plan, and I think you guys would be good to help me out with it. So here's my plan. I can't tell you the details because the less people that know, the better. But we have a plan to kind of lure some of these fine gentlemen into one of the local warehouses, at which point we're going to get answers from them one way or another.
I raise an eyebrow. I'm starting to like this plan.
I
I'm
also raise an eyebrow.
I'm expecting that there's going to be a fight, and I need skilled people to make sure that one, this fight goes the way we want, and two, that this fight does not spill out into the streets. We don't want our cover blown. I don't want innocents hurt.
I have a solution. I just proceed to pull out one of my 2 bags of caltrops.
He kind of grins. Now that's a weapon I haven't seen in a while. I'm impressed.
Perfect for laying a trap for somebody you don't want to get moving.
True enough. So, it's important that we do not let any of the hand members know what is going on. If they get even a whiff that there's something going on, any type of rebellion coming from the Crimson District, things are not going to go well for us at the Underground. So, tomorrow, sunset, the warehouse down the street. I want you to meet me there and help me with this. If you are in,
Okay.
if you're in, I will make sure that we do everything we can to help get you out of here, since that seems to be your desire from what Kalani told me.
I nod.
He goes,
Prepare more caltrops just in case.
now, I understand that this situation is a little out of the blue for you, so as a show of good faith, consider your stay tonight here at the Virtue's Bane on me.
I smile.
Before I do, though, I'm going to need to get more caltrops made if we're going through with this plan.
So he kind of sits back and goes, I might be able to get you some, but I would not suggest getting them ordered from the blacksmithing district. We're not still quite sure exactly how closely they're monitoring the businesses here in the city.
As much as I like the owner of the blacksmith and his fine craftsmanship, I would have to agree with you there.
I'll see if I can get you some and bring them tomorrow night if possible. Until then, I suggest you get a good night's rest. Again, the warehouse down the street at sundown tomorrow night. I'll take care of getting these fine gentlemen to the warehouse. I just need you to help me get answers out of them.
As long as we make sure the noise is muffled, I'm pretty sure my caltrops can keep them in place.
He nods. Very well, then I see we're in business. He stands up.
I feel like Aramel, however, may have a bit of a ruckus. Slowly looks over at Aramel in his giant bulking armor.
Alrighty.
This armor is removable. And plus, a sword is
Okay, so I think this is a good place to stop this first session.
Sounds like it.
Because spoilers. you're gonna be getting your combat on.
Okay, to be fair,
have to roll something. Right.
To be fair, Charge and I almost got into combat earlier.
No, I know. Listen. We could talk about all of this off stream. I'll be more than happy to discuss it with you. But that's gonna be it for this particular session. I hope you guys had fun. Yes.
It was fun.
It was very fun.
I hope you guys want to play more. I don't know when we're going to be doing another session, hopefully next Wednesday, but we're kind of playing it by ear with everyone's schedules. So make sure that you follow the Twitch stream here.
I almost messed up the schedule today.
That's okay. As long as it's in advance, we can work with it. But stay tuned to my Twitter, and you can join us in the public Discord to keep an eye on when the next session is coming. Thank you to everybody who stopped in and watched. We actually had quite a number of people watching. Thank you guys for coming and playing. I appreciate it. I hope you guys had fun. And I'm really excited to share more of this with you guys during the next session. So,
Oh, yeah.
Bye,
yeah.
friendo.
Mwah. Goodbye, friendos. Good night.